7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Talk about the heroes of history that your teachers never told you about. Welcome to our first episode. I'm Neil.
I'm Oren.
And we're going to take you down the journey today of something that happened in 1922 on September 15th. And these are called the Straw Hat Riots. Now, I don't know exactly what was going on back then in 1922, but I can tell you the straw hat was a crazy thing. So basically, we have two groups of people, the felt hatters and the straw hatters. And the felt hatters were under strong belief that felt hats were the only hats that can be worn. And this is not a joke, by the way, guys. This really happened in U.S. history. This is a real moment. And the felt hatters were strong against these straw hats. And then you had these straw hatters who just wanted to be comfortable in the summertime. They just wanted to have the wind blow and they wanted to be a little breezy and just be more comfortable. But the felt hatters and the U.S. made a deal that after September 15th, no more straw hats can be worn by people. And this was an arbitrary date made for no reason other than the fact that felt hatters really hated the straw hats. And so what would happen is if you were seen wearing a straw hat on September 15th or after, people had the right to grab your hat, throw it on the ground, and just stomp on it in front of you and just make fun of all of your fashion choices.
Basically, the way I understood it with my very limited research is that it's like you said before we started, it's like, you know how like girls get annoyed when you wear like white outfits after September 5th or Labor Day, you know what I'm saying?
After Labor Day, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same type of thing. It wasn't like codified, but it's like stupid rich people it's basically rich people getting mad at like poor people who didn't want to buy a felt hat after September 15th. They were just bullying them. That was basically what it was. But I think I have a theory for what really happened. So give if you want, give the exact background of that year, the riots of it's 1922, and then I'll tell you my conspiracy after.
Okay, so I can tell you what happened in 1922 that started these riots, and basically, and it is kind of like wearing white after Labor Day, but this is like significantly more intense.
Yeah,
like
more
the
hyped.
U.S.
The
U.S. was really behind this. They were like, dude, straw hats. So
gotta go.
Yeah, like this was in the news and stuff. Like the news would warn you about on the 14th and 15th.
I read a New York Times. This guy wrote an op-ed. He's like, if you want to wear a straw hat in September, move to the South where it's still sunny, kid. Like, he wrote a real op-ed in the New York Times.
Oh my God. Yeah, they would warn you. They'd be like, if you wear a straw hat, you might get beat up. Like you might get just attacked for it.
It was like a joke. It was like a joke, but like, I mean, if you're gonna take my hat off my head and throw it on the floor, like I'm gonna be pissed. It's not really a joke at that point.
And there was this common courtesy thing that they were doing also, where they said strangers shouldn't be doing it. This is something only your friends will do. Right? Like only your friends should be doing this. But then also like once you get teenagers into the mix, anything can happen, and it's all up for grabs. And so what happened on the 15th of the 1922 is you had a couple of kids go up to some dock workers, I think it was. Yeah. And they went up to them and they tried to take off their hats. Don't mess with
dock workers, G.
Yeah. And these dudes were like, no way. You guys are like fucking 18 years old out here trying to mess with me. And so they fight back. They like attack back. They say, no, you're not taking my hats. And you end up with riots for like 3-4 days or something. And people getting just beat up. You have gangs of teenagers moving across areas, across counties, just finding people with straw hats and brutalizing them.
Herds. Nomads of teenagers.
Herds. It was insane.
So I think it was pretty bad, like the past few years. 1922 was bad, especially because of the teens. Like they couldn't control just the sheer number of like what would today be like TikTok teens that were just super bored and just running around ripping people's heads off for like views for their
Dude, they
friends.
even attacked the cops. They even
I
went after
know.
police.
I
Like
saw
police
that.
weren't even safe in all
I
this.
saw
So
that. But
it was just a free for all.
I don't understand why you would mess with a dock worker as a teen. So this is why this is where my conspiracy theory comes in.
I'd love to hear it.
There's no way that like a 14-year-old like puny teen went to mess with like an alpha male dock worker. You know what I'm saying? Like long hours. This guy's been working 30 years. He's jacked. He has grown man strength. There's only one reason. He got paid by the felt hat companies of New York. That's my conspiracy. The felt hat manufacturers paid the teenagers like a couple bucks here and there to trash all the straw hats so people would buy the new felt hats. I swear. I really believe that. I actually do. It makes sense, bro. Think about it. Think about it. I saw article. Most of the ones, the dock worker is one of them. Most of the ones that got snatched was in front of felt hat stores. What a convenient place to get your hat smashed.
Is that
Just
really
walk
true?
in and
Most of them were
yes,
around the house?
yes, I'll find it.
Oh my god, that's insane.
What a convenient place to get your hat
What a-
smashed right before you need a felt one for the winter months.
Oh my god! I will say I was also reading that the hat stores are doing incredibly well during this time.
Yes,
Hat
bro.
stores
Obviously they are.
thriving.
Bro, this holiday, it's like September 15th is the holiday. It's equivalent to like Halloween, like how like candy sales just or like Valentine's Day. It's just a fake holiday that they made up to sell more of the product. It's facts, 100%.
Well, if anything, it's a fake holiday that definitely got out of hand. And even then, I think after 1922nd, the like things calmed down a little bit. Like that was the extent of it. But it didn't die until new hats came out, right? There was these new hats that came around.
Yeah,
I can't remember exactly what kind of hats real quick.
doesn't matter.
Give me one.
Find it.
Yeah, but what the point is, it wasn't a felt hat and it wasn't a straw hat.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. It was
Yeah, it
light
was like
enough for the summer months and heavy enough for the winter months.
Yeah, and they were supposedly more stylish and something, and like they were just more comfortable.
Yeah.
But I remember reading in 1925 there was actually a death that occurred when someone tried to
Really?
take a hat. Yeah, like a kid killed someone, fighting over his straw hat.
Hell yeah.
So
I respect that. I do respect that. So
you-
honestly, I have
which
a
one do you respect, by the way? Do you respect the guy wearing the straw hat for sticking to the hat?
yes,
Or the
yes,
kid
yes.
from
No.
or
That's why for my pick for the heroes of this episode are the dock workers. Cause they're like, bro, they're just trying to work. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just at work and a bunch of like prepubescent, like rich kids come up to them and start to like mess with their hats. So my heroes are the ones that stood their ground and didn't listen to the stupid rich people and the conspiracy capitalists trying to make a quick buck off their felt hats.
the felt cappers who were just saying, "Pay me more money."
Literally.
I don't think you had to buy a felt. I think you already had a felt cap too.
No. They had to buy them, dude. That's why they did it. I swear. They had to buy a new one because it got messed up. Bro, it's like, for me, like, who is the most annoying? Think about Halloween. That's such a good analogy. Think about Halloween. What are the most annoying people on Halloween? It's the kids that are too old to be trick-or-treating, but still go trick-or-treating with their friends and not in costume. They're just wearing, like, hoodies.
Oh, dude, if you go out and not a costume, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like free Chipotle. That's like free Chipotle.
It's like 14-year-old kids that are like, they're way too old to be going by themselves. 15-year-old kids. They're wearing hoodies and it's the same thing, bro. These annoying kids. And who is the hero? Who is the hero of this? It's the guy who turns his lights off during Halloween and says, F you all. None for you. And he is the dock worker, and he is my hero. Not giving into trends, not falling for capitalist ideological ploys. A man of standards. That's my pick. That's my pick for hero.
For sure, the dock workers are the hero. I think anyone who was willing to wear a straw hat after September 15th and saying "fuck you" to the stupid tradition is an absolute winner of history.
Absolute mad lad of history.
But I also just think it's crazy to imagine. Like, imagine like if you wore white on September 16th, and a gang of teenagers just come and kick your ass for it. just for the idea of wearing white was so wrong in the world.
Yeah. I think honestly, it wasn't that it was wrong. I'm sure some people thought it was wrong, like the like really like prissy like white ladies that lived in like their mansions in like Connecticut were like, yeah, you can't wear a straw hat after September. I think the rest of it was just like they're just like, hey, like let's go mess with these guys because we have the right to. You know what I'm saying? Like they have the right to mess with them because that's the tradition. It's like a trick or treating and like you TP someone's house. You have the right to. It's like a free pass. That's why they took it. But then the adults are just like, no, like leave me alone. That's what got out of hand.
I do think it's
okay.
interesting. I think it's interesting that it is like the teenagers are the problem. It was like never,
Yeah.
but I think it was big in American culture too. Like I don't think it was like I think all Americans are kind of like, or most Americans are kind of like, because these kids have to get it from somewhere, right? These kids have to get this
I'm
tradition
saying
from somewhere.
they got it from the fashionable people, who are fashionable people even today. It's like the rich New York people that live in their stupid apartments, and they're not even in New York in the summer. They go to like, they go to the country, they chill, they have like a lake house, come back to their city to see everyone wearing nice felt hats. What do they see? Everyone wearing straw hats. They're like, hey, they tell their homies who own the hats, they're like, bribe these kids to beat up all these guys. I don't want to see a single straw hat in my city. It's the same thing, bro.
I mean, I could see that. I couldn't see bribery starting the whole riot. There has to be some.
No, not the whole riot.
American
It's
culture.
some like yeah,
I
for sure.
I could definitely see it being the like this one guy with a hat store. His business is just not doing too well
Yeah.
all of a sudden. He's like, damn, I don't sell straw hats. They're really driving me. Like they're more comfortable. They breathe better.
They're
This is
cheaper. They're
not
just
good.
cheaper, bro.
and they breathe like they just have to be more comfortable. I can imagine just sweating in these
Yeah,
felt
but the
hats.
thing is, if you're living in New York in the winter, the straw hat's gonna get
Yeah.
wrecked. You need a felt hat because it's
You
waterproof. The straw's
unless
not-
you're wearing a beanie under the straw hat, then you can maybe get
Yeah.
away with it. But
Yeah.
then you're doing something weird anyway.
No. But what I'm saying is, they did it. Not. I think the workers would have bought a felt hat anyway, eventually. But
Oh.
they wanted it. They wanted the cash flow now, like immediately, as soon as possible. Because, bro, it doesn't even make sense. If it's still hot outside, you could still wear the straw hat. So the workers are just like, who cares about your stupid date? And then the kids are like, no, this is the date. My mom told me I get to beat you up today. I would have messed them up.
Yeah, summer ends on the September 21st, by the way. Like
I know, it's
on
such an
the
arbitrary
15th.
date.
Yeah, it was September 1st at one point. Then they were like, okay,
No,
let's
because
move it.
that New York Times op-ed, the guy's like, the guy said in the op-ed, he's like, you should only wear straw hats when strawberries are in season. He's like, that's a rule of thumb for you. And that's why he said, he's like, if you don't like that, move to the South because their strawberries are in season longer. He thought that was like the sickest burn like ever. Like to tell like a northern like prissy person to move to like the inbred South, like Alabama.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of fuck with that vision though of just saying, hey, if you don't like it,
It's a good rule.
move to
It's
the
a
south
good
where the
rule.
weather's warm.
It's a good rule. I like it. I respect it. But not my pick for hero. My pick for hero has to be the dock workers.
I think the guy who wrote the op-ed is also a hero of history. I think the only
Probably.
non-heroes of history in this story are the teenagers.
Teenagers, for sure. Teenagers and the wine moms that were like telling their teenagers that they were allowed to do that because it's just fun.
Only Karens you got in the back.
The Karens, bro, they're literally the Karens. Karens of the past invented that idea.
Absolutely, bro. With the pearls around their neck, just clenching their
100%.
pearls.
100%. You know how pissed they probably got when they saw a straw hat on September 16? Those Karens, the pre-industrial Karens of the 20th century, pre-TikTok Karens.
Oh my god, I could see them just turning red, bro. Being like, how can you be declassing my neighborhood so much?
How dare you? Yeah, it's literally that. It's like loitering. Like, you know, like they see like a car in their neighborhood, like that's like kind of sketch looking parked on the street. And they get butthurt. They call the cops on everything. I bet you a Karen called the cop on someone for wearing a straw hat after September. I guarantee it. I'll bet any amount of money.
Can you imagine? I don't even know what I'd do if I was a cop that pulled up to that. It's like, I don't know if this is illegal, but it might be.
The cop for sure beat him up to get at the Karen. Cops and Karens have a special relationship, bro. They're NIMBY. It was NIMBY of the 1920s, not in my backyard. G. No straw hats in my backyard. Gentrification at its finest.
Oh my god! I think it's so arbitrary too that like these straw hats all of a sudden become such an ideal of like.
Yeah.
You can't wear straw hats.
Bro, because who decides fashion? Who decides fashion is rich people. and rich people are like, bro, just buy a felt hat. But the dock workers are like, hey, chill. Like, wait, let my paycheck come in. I'll buy a felt hat. But they're like, no, you need to do it now. Also, low key, we should bring back hats. To be fair, I don't see enough hats. Hats are pretty sick. Hats are so important. Like historically, everyone had dope hats. We're the only like culture that has snapbacks. You know what an LVAT is? For like evolutionary history, that we've ended up at snapbacks from felt hats.
Dude, I think snapbacks was a weird trend that we had in like the 10s. Like it was just like a weird trend that we went through.
Swag never dies.
I'm a fan of the baseball hats, bro. The baseball hats,
like it.
with the curved edges,
It's not bad.
They're nice. I think they're casual though.
It's not bad, but they killed the fedora, bro. Like low key,
the fedora,
fire. They're kind of fire. They're kind of fire.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's just culturally they've been destroyed.
I had a fedora back in the day, man.
Everyone did.
You could see me revving the fedora. I was watching the show. I don't know if you watched the show, White Collar.
No, definitely not.
It's like basically it's not important. We won't get into it, but like the main character wore a fedora, and so I was like,
you thought that was you?
I was like, dude, no. I just thought like, damn, he looks sick in a fedora. I must look sick in a fedora also.
That's what I'm saying though. We look good in hats, bro. Like most people would benefit by having a hat in their wardrobe. But we don't respect it. Look at how much we used to care about it as a society. We used to beat people up about it. Now no one cares. It's sad. Like you go to like a horse race nowadays, you don't see enough hats. Back then, bro, the horse races, they had hella hats.
All the hats, bro. And we got cowboy hats that are still going around. So get rid of cowboy hats, throw in a fedora instead. I
kind of mess with cowboy hats too, but fedoras are dope.
No, I don't know, man. Cowboy hats got this weird.
Whatever.
I should hate on cowboy hats.
I'm not defending or hating on hats. All hats matter. I love hats. I think we should have more hats is all I'm saying. Because look at how much we took it. Look at how seriously we took it back then. We should bring that back. Make hats great again.
A little less serious, of course, but we should bring back the love of hats. I think
we should, yeah.
I think another one of the heroes, the hats. I think we have to give it to them. We have to give the wave. We have to give a wave to the hats for
protecting our heads
for what they did.
Bald people
keeping us cool and hot. That's what they did back then.
That's dope. What think about that. Multi-purpose. Insane.
That's what they did. That's insane. You were too hot, you put on a hat. You were too cold, you put on a hat.
Heroes of history. Hats and New York dock workers that beat up teenagers. Those are our heroes of history. Honestly, I'm pretty happy. I think that's a good place to stop it. We came up with two good conclusions.
Yeah, two heroes of the day.
2 heroes of the day. Twice for your money. Twice for our audience's money. You got 2 heroes with 1 episode.
Double whammy in the first episode.
There you go.